Real estate segment. This is what we do once a month. Mae Graves, our pro real estate guru, comes in and talks a bit about how the market's shaping up, things she's seeing out there. And today we're going to talk a little too about what you ought to do or not ought to do to move the needle, as she likes to put it, on whether getting more money or getting your house sold or not. So Mae, it's great to see you. Thanks for coming in as always.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So let's take a look at this past month or so. Throw us a few numbers. How's the market look for those out in real estate land?
I have to get used to putting my readers on first.
Okay.
I had cataract surgery, and I told them that was for old people, but apparently it's not.
We're old, Mae.
We're not
I'm
old.
sorry to say that.
All right. Well, let's break down the numbers. So, I think last month I told you it kind of has felt like a roller coaster. Like we just don't know what to expect from one month to the next. And I'm kind of trying to make trends and look at things from years before. But let me tell you what's going on. So in Port Angeles, we sold 29 homes for the month of April. The month prior was 26. So that seems like, well, that's good. We're trending up. But if we look at last year for Port Angeles, we sold 36 in April and just 29 this April. So the numbers are a little down there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The median home price for Port Angeles for 2025 is $425. Last year, $450. So that's another indicator that our market could be sliding, but we don't know. We're going to keep doing this, right? Days on market last April was only 6. That's flying off the market. Yeah. This is 15, which is still pretty fast. I mean, if you're on the market 2 weeks, you got an offer, still pretty good. And as you look through the trends, I think last month I was telling you that June typically is kind of crazy for Port Angeles. I don't know if it's because homes closing in June. So kids are out of school, more of a family-oriented town as compared to Sequim. So you see more sales in June, where we don't see that so much in Sequim in June. Numbers for Sequim. Median home price for 2025 April, $560. Last year, $565. So that also has slid just a little bit, but not too much, holding there. Number of homes sold this year was 42, last year 50. So that also is a little down. Days on market, about the same, right around 2 weeks. So it'll be interesting going forward, just kind of see how that plays out. Usually we get this big uptick right after Valentine's Day. So, March, April, May, we see a big upswing. Then the inventory kind of levels out a little bit. So some of that pent up buyer demand from all winter, they all kind of bought. And now we have enough inventory. It'll kind of even out a little bit. And then in the fall, we'll get another push. So usually around September, another big push. Lots of closings, September, October, November. Then it gets a little quieter until the spring again.
And that's your cycle of real estate.
It is, yeah.
It's been that way kind of consistently, hasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I keep saying, our market has trended up. I was saying 11 years, but I was looking at it this morning. I think it's more like at least 12 years. Wow. I think we saw the market kind of hit the bottom. And in 07, 08,
right,
took till 12 to kind of hit the rock bottom and then start trending back up.
You see anything, though, in the softening that we've had where, with the market is going to... Are you concerned, I guess, as a real estate agent now? We can see some of those numbers.
So are you... Say that again.
Are you concerned at all seeing a little bit of softening in the market compared to year over year, as you just pointed out? Or is it at a point you're not, that those numbers aren't that far off?
I'm not too concerned yet. We got to get some more data under our belt to really see the trends. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and interest rates add to it. People just not sure what they want to do. So it's a little market schizophrenia. You have
a lot of people sitting on the sidelines right now, kind of doing I'm not sure yet. We're thinking about it.
Well, a little bit of that. I have one house listed. There are 3 houses in the neighborhood on the market. So, a lot of times the headlines are to cause more emotion or fear than it is clarity. And so they immediately said, what's going on? Everybody's selling their house. I said, not everybody. There's a lot of people looking for homes. It's just 3 in your neighborhood. And one was new construction. One had a job transfer. The other one has a growing family. So no one particular reason.
Okay. Yeah. Much as your messages we hear on the air are all about to fit one of the D's, right? Or something like that.
Exactly.
Right? Okay, so moving the needle. Let's talk just a bit about that, because this is kind of thing. What should we do? Okay, I'm thinking of selling my house. What should I do? What shouldn't I be doing? I mean, where should I put my elbow grease into?
Sure. I think people think, like we have a stake in it to say this, but I really think you should talk to your agent or an agent or me before you do a ton of stuff, because the National Association of Realtors just released recently some information about things that people do to get their house on the market that don't necessarily move the needle. So, like, one thing that I tell people that are so simple, they're so inexpensive, like if you have a mailbox on the street that's rusted and dented, maybe teenagers have taken a whack at it, get a new mailbox. That right there, curb appeal, first basic step.
Your mailbox.
Okay. Because it's the first impression. They're looking for your address marker. They drive up, and if you have a nice, pretty white mailbox or whatever color, it's going to look like you care. You're taking care of things. They walk up the path, up the sidewalk to your front door. Just make sure that's maintained, well edged. Pressure wash sidewalk. The front door is like the eyeball of the house.
I'm looking at a note. You just hear that you get 100% return on investment if you put a new steel front door on your house.
Yes,
I didn't even think of that. But it's a security thing. It's also a new door.
It's a new door, yeah. And I like to say it's like the eyeball of your house, or it's the face. When you look at a house, that's what you focus on, is the front door. Right. So spending a little bit of money on your front door, does definitely move the needle.
Okay, easy as that. I mean, you think about it, right?
Yeah.
So some things that don't do so much, bathroom renovations.
So there are some things you can do in the bathroom. Definitely, nowadays with box stores or even local businesses, they have modular, sink, vanity, quartz countertops, that a sink is inserted. Everything's there. You can swap that out fairly affordably. And then when they see the bathroom, maybe they have a nice white spa-looking shower curtain up, so it looks like it's been all updated, but really you put $450, right?
You haven't tore it down to the studs and done a whole new bathroom.
Exactly. If you did that, you put 10 grand or more into it, you might not move the needle. You might not get another 10 grand for doing that one bathroom. All
right. Last time you were on, you talked about this. I mean, you tell a lot of people, it's like, ho, 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 don't even paint certain things. Think about it.
Right. And we want to make, this term came up a few years ago, vanilla shell. We just want it to be suitable for anyone, any decor. They can move in any colors, whatever they want. Keep it kind of basic.
Right.
And so that is one thing. If you have an accent wall, we talked about that, like a sponge painted wall, get rid of it. Just paint it to builder beige.
You may have liked it, but right. Yeah. So that's Mae's magic tip right there, probably. Get yourself to a very vanilla, to use your term, kind of shell.
Exactly.
Right? Because you might be surprised. I think there's a lot. Maybe the HGTV stuff has kind of brainwashed us a bit into thinking we have to do all of these renovations in order to, because they're cool looking. It's fun to see, but it may not transfer into getting you more dollars.
And there are some DIY projects that people are doing that really they shouldn't be. It's not moving the needle. It's not helping us.
All right. Mae, I always love talking with you. You were doing business in our front office, so I need to let you get back to it. And we'll talk again next month, all right?
Amazing. Thank you so much, Todd.
How do we get a hold of Mae? Because Mae's always willing to give you advice, even if you're not going to hire her.
Yes, even if you just have a question. Just call me. Grab your pen. It's 360-461-1922. And it's Mae Graves.
That's Mae Graves, our real estate guru. We get her in about once a month, talk about some things at the market and do's and don'ts for selling your house as well. Thanks, Mae. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to dive into the world of local history next.